Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. Now, as we reported on the show already, Hillary Clinton and the DNC lied for a year that they funded the dossier, the PP dossier, that everyone was holding over Trump's head. Now, you remember what they said? They said that, the PP dossier, the Russian government put that together, and they're using that to blackmail Donald Trump. Except what really was happening was Hillary Clinton hired a foreign agent to get dirt from the Kremlin, from Russian officials inside the Kremlin, to get dirt on Donald Trump, her political opponent. The exact thing they accused Trump of doing. Now, again, do I like Donald Trump? Hell no. I voted Jill Stein, and I think he's a pox on our democracy. Guess who else is a pox on our democracy? The Democrats and Hillary Clinton and John Podesta. So they did that. They literally funded that, which is the exact thing they accused Donald Trump of doing, colluding with the Kremlin to get dirt on a political opponent. They colluded with the Kremlin to get dirt on their political opponent. That's a fact. That's exactly what they did. They used their connections inside the Kremlin to back channel negative information about Donald Trump to the Clinton campaign. That's exactly what they did. And they lied about it. And then now their thing is, oh my God, it was just opposition research. Then why did you lie about it for a year? Because you're fucking corrupt liars, criminals. And guess who's another lying criminal? John Podesta. John Podesta says he didn't know the Clinton campaign was paying Fusion GPS. Why not? Why? I'll tell you why he didn't know. Because he's lying. He's a liar. John Podesta is a corrupt oligarch piece of shit. That's who John Podesta is. He's one of the biggest lobbyists in the world. He doesn't care if he lobbies for Russia or frickin' Germany or Saudi Arabia or Israel or anybody who's an enemy of democracy in this country. He doesn't care. Anybody who pays him money, his foundation will lobby for. We've already showed you that the foundation he started lobbied for pro-Russian government stuff just a few years ago against the will of the Congress.
Are you sure he wasn't just hanging out with Tom Perez? Maybe that's why he didn't know.
Maybe that's why he didn't know.
Tom didn't know.
Tom Perez didn't know either. That's why, you know what? Tom Perez didn't know that the DNC was funding the dossier, funding dirt on a political opponent gotten from Russian government officials. He didn't know that. You know why? Maybe that's why there should be transparency in the DNC budget, yet there never will be, because Tom Perez is corrupt and he's working against you. And when they lied about the dossier, they didn't lie to the Republicans. They lied to you. And they continue this Red Scare McCarthyism, which is disgusting beyond belief, and it's damaging to our democracy. And they don't give a shit. John Podesta doesn't care what he does to our democracy. He doesn't give a shit about this country. That guy is a fucking cretin of the first order. And guess what Jeff Bezos did? He gave him editorial space. He's now a writer for the Washington Post. One of the most powerful lobbyists in the world is now the writer for Washington Post. Oh, my God. So he said, John Podesta, Hillary Clinton's, this is from CNN, Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, and former Democratic National Committee chairman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, both privately denied to congressional Russian investigators. They denied to the Congress. They lied to you. They lied to you. To you. That's a fucking crime. Denied to congressional Russia investigators that they had any knowledge about an arrangement to pay for opposition research on President Donald Trump. Three sources familiar with the matter told CNN. So this whole thing, do you understand what Trump supporters say when they see this? They go, so when you call Donald Trump a liar, you're just upset because you don't like Donald Trump. You guys are all liars. And they are. They're all liars. Hillary Clinton and John Podesta, maybe the biggest liars in the world next to Trump. Those interviews happened before this week's disclosure that the Clinton campaign and the DNC paid for the research. So they lied, now they got outed, and they got caught lying again to the Congress. To you. They didn't lie to Russia. They lied to you. They're the ones lying to you. And by the way, if you remember, the DNC are the ones who rigged the fucking election. Not Russia, the DNC. Senate investigators may seek to further question the two top Democrats and dig deeper on the origins of the so-called Trump dossier. One of the sources briefed on the matter said, so now if it comes out that Trump actually did collude with Russia to get dirt on Hillary Clinton, doesn't fucking matter, does it? Even though there's no proof, and we have been a year, somehow Trump is such an incompetent boob, but yet he's managing to stay one step ahead of the FBI, CIA, the NSA, and the DHS. How does he do that? On its face, this seems crazy. This is from Chris Cillizza from CNN. So that the interview that they didn't know about it. This is what he's saying, that they didn't know that the DNC and the Clinton campaign was paying millions, was it $9 million? How much money did they pay to the Fusion GPS? We're going to check. I think it was $9 million they paid to them. And they didn't know about it? Well, Chris Cillizza says, on its face, this seems crazy. You know why it seems crazy on its face? Because it's crazy. That's why it seems crazy, Chris. It seems crazy because it is crazy. I've seen other people say, boy, this looks like collusion. Why did they do that? Well, because this looks like corruption. Why did they do that? Because they're corrupt. Sometimes corruption looks like corruption because it's actually fucking corruption. It doesn't just have the appearance of corruption. Guess what else has the appearance of corruption? Corruption. That's why this looks corrupt. You know why? Because it is. You know why it seems crazy? Because it is. How could two of the top officials at Clinton's campaign and the DNC not know the Perkins Coie lawyer Mark Ilias was using money from both of those organizations to fund opposition research from Fusion GPS, and thus the work of former British spy Christopher Steele on the Trump dossier? So that's British spy. So they hired a foreign agent. And where did he get the dirt on Trump? He got it from Russian officials inside the Kremlin. That's where he got it, according to Vanity Fair. People leave that part out. Even Chris Cillizza leaves that part out. Everybody leaves that part out. Where did Steele get the information from? No one tells you. I'm telling you. Steele got the information from Russian government officials inside the Kremlin.
The Clinton campaign and the DNC paid Perkins Coie more than $9 million.
More than $9 million. But nobody knew. Nobody knew. No, I didn't know. You fucking criminal, corrupt liars who sell your own country down the fucking toilet to put money in your pocket. This is why Bernie ran. This is why the progressives are not supporting the Democrats fucking ever again. Now here's where Chris Cillizza goes off the rails. Now, period. There is nothing wrong with Clinton's campaign working to gather opposition research on Trump. Every campaign does this. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why is it treason when Trump does it? But when Hillary Clinton... So, I showed you in the other video. Is it surprising that people inside the Kremlin friendly to the Clinton campaign would work to back channel damaging information about Trump to the Clinton campaign? That's what they did. That was the charge that Trump did. It's the exact thing. But now the establishment says they're no, this is operation. No. Hillary Clinton did it, so it's okay. I'm not wrong about this, right? I'm here with the miserable liberal and Ron Placone. That's exactly the same thing, right?
Well, I wouldn't have a problem with that sentence if it said there is nothing wrong with a campaign working to gather opposition research on another campaign. Every campaign does this. Yeah. Because then we could just shut up about this whole thing once and for all. Right. Which is what I really want.
So the idea that the establishment and Chris Cillizza still pushes is that the Russians wanted to hack the DNC and John Podesta's computers, their servers, but they didn't know how to do it. They had to get Trump to help them? How did Trump help Russia hack? By the way, they didn't. There's no proof that they... In fact, the proof is the other way. The DNC and John Podesta never gave their servers to the FBI or the Department of Homeland Security. Never. Never. So we have to take their word for it. The word for it of people who are lying about the whole fucking thing. Just prove they're lying. They lied for a year through their teeth about funding the dossier. They're lying about the whole thing. They're fucking criminal, corrupted oligarchs. Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton got rich while they were in government. You know who does that? Fucking criminals. It is literally the top. So he goes, every campaign does this. Yes, they do. So then why do you pretend like when Trump does it, it's treason? And most good campaigns gather opposition research on themselves too, but someone at the top of the campaign needs to know this is happening. It is literally the job of the person at the top or someone at the top to do stuff like this. That's Chris Cillizza. He goes on, the point here is that Podesta was in a position where he should have known about this contract. He fucking knew about it. That he didn't suggest or resuggest that the Clinton, get this, I love Chris Cillizza nails them here. Chris Cillizza nails them. He goes, that he didn't suggest or resuggests that the Clinton operation wasn't anything close to the well-oiled machine we were led to believe it was during. So what he's saying is they were super incompetent. Yeah, you think? You think that the campaign that lost to Donnie Tynahan's Trump was incompetent and they got caught cheating at every fucking turn? They got caught cheating at every turn. They just got the New York Board of Elections to admit that they illegally purged 200,000 people from the voting rolls in Brooklyn alone. Yeah, they were incompetent, and they get caught cheating at every turn, and this proves that they're cheaters and liars, and they're horribly incompetent at it. Here we go. Over to you guys. Anything to say for the miserable liberal and Rob Procon?
What this whole Russia thing, like, and people love to ignore the fact that this whole hysteria, it's actually helping Trump.
That's a good point, Ron. Make this point.
The fact that they're talking about it nonstop, without any concrete evidence, it's empowering his base. It's making them angrier and angrier and empowering Trump. When Trump's numbers were lowest was when the media really started talking about the AHCA and how terrible it was and the consequences it would have. That's when Trump's numbers were at their lowest, pretty much. When are they at their higher point? Now, when it's all Russia, 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 and pretty much everyone is seeing through it at this point.
No one gives a shit about the Russia stuff except the establishment and the media. Go ahead, Steph.
Well, listen, we might edit this out. This is from NewYorkPost.com. I don't know how reliable it is. I just wanted to read this. This came out in June, and it says, what is this company hiding? Fusion GPS describes itself as a research and strategic intelligence firm founded by 3 former Wall Street Journal investigative reporters, but congressional sources say it's actually an opposition research group for Democrats, and the founders, who are more political activists than journalists, have a pro-Hillary Clinton, anti-Trump agenda. One more thing, in quotes, these weren't mercenaries or hired guns, a congressional source familiar with the dossier probe said. These guys had a vested personal and ideological interest in smearing Trump and boosting Hillary's chances of winning the White House.
Yeah, of course. Yes. That's what we're saying, of course. And they used their agents connected to the Clinton campaign. They connected with Russian government officials to get dirt on Trump. That's literally what happened. People working for the Clinton campaign contacted Russian officials inside the Kremlin to get dirt on Trump. That's literally what happened. And everybody's ignoring that. Everybody is an idiot. I'm sorry, but this is how propaganda works. Yeah, I wasn't alive during the first round of McCarthy Red Scare stuff, but I guess it must have been just like this, except it came from the right and not the left. So now it's coming from the left because they're just as corrupt as the right. That's why we don't have a fucking functioning government. That's why we have Trump, because the Democrats are beyond repair. So, again, I'll say this, that Bernie needs to get his head out of his ass and realize that what he's doing is sheepdogging progressives into a party that's working against them. How dare you go out and sign up fucking progressives to come and join the goddamn Democratic Party when every day they shit on them? You have to run third party, Bernie, and if you don't, you're letting the country down. Please subscribe to this video. Please subscribe to this channel. YouTube's making it harder for people to see our stuff. Please subscribe. It makes all the difference. And if you can help support the show by becoming a Patreon or premium member through PayPal, that would be great too. The next live Jimmy Dore show is November 6th in Burbank, California, and November 12th in Portland, Oregon. Link for tickets right there.